Hey guys, it's Gary Wong from GaryWongRealty.com, and today I'm honored and privileged to have an amazing guest with me today. It's Harmel Rayat. He is the president and CEO of Talia Jeevan. Is that, did I pronounce it right?
Talia Jeevan.
Talia Jeevan, which is the real estate arm of the family office, Kaling Capital. Welcome to the show.
Gary, thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
And today we're going to be talking about his new book, Double-Digit Returns in Good Markets and Bad. I actually read this book. It's amazing. But before we go into this book, we want the viewers to get to know a little bit about you. So Harmel, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this place, how you got to where you are today.
Sure. Well, I took a long time to get to where I am. A long, long time. In fact, I got my start in the mailroom of a brokerage firm.
Okay.
Just a few blocks up the street, and worked there as a messenger, as a clerk.
Yeah.
And I actually used to run around these streets of Vancouver, delivering packages, picking up envelopes, picking up checks, delivering whatever was needed to be sent out from the office. Mm-hmm. And I did that for about a year or so, then became a stockbroker, and then just before the markets crashed back in '87, I decided I wanted to invest on my own, and I left the business. And then, of course, the markets dropped like a rock, crashed around the world, and early on, many of my investments did really poorly. In fact, some of them actually failed.
Wow.
Yeah, and luckily for me, I had my friends, I had my family, I had a few good people that pushed me to stay the course, and I worked hard. And after a little while, I learned how to deploy capital in a much wiser way, surrounded myself with a great team. And just like any investor, for years I was trying my very best to get the best risk-adjusted rewards possible, but it's tough. Combined bad advice, bad ideas, market volatility, I didn't do so well. So in 2006, I decided, you know what, for some market diversity, for some low-risk cash flow, I decided to get into commercial real estate. And bought my first property, and been accumulating ever since.
Nice. So as I was reading this book, you mentioned how you compare your returns with the stock exchanges, where they're like 9%, 10%, 11%, and all of a sudden yours has 45%.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I first discovered the rate of return on my equity, I was shocked, just like anybody. Yeah. I knew I was doing really, really well, and I decided to retain a very reputable audit firm in Seattle, a mid-sized audit firm, and hired some appraisers to do appraisals, look at my cash flow, and they basically gave me an accountant's report, and it just stopped me in my tracks for the 10 years ending 2015, December 31st, 2015. My annualized return on equity was 33%.
Wow.
So I said, wow, this is pretty impressive. So I waited a few more years to assess my returns, and by the end of 2018, I looked at my portfolio, and again, my returns had walloped most benchmarks. I had generated 45% a year for almost 15 years. That's
amazing.
Yeah, 5 times better than the Dow, 3 times better than NASDAQ.
I don't know anybody who has that kind of returns.
Well,
like they say, even Warren Buffett generates like 15%.
We worked hard. We got lucky. We timed well.
Well, that's what they all say, luck. But actually, it's like due diligence and skill and patience.
Got a great team.
Yeah,
got a great team for sure.
And so, what motivated you to write this book, Double-Digit Returns in Good Markets and Bad?
Gary, I've always believed that good begets good. That the more you share, the more you get in return. And in life, there's nothing more important to share than knowledge. So when I wrote this book, I wanted to reveal everything. I wanted to show exactly how I did it, what I did, when I did it, why I did it, and I even share my mistakes, because sometimes you learn more from your mistakes than you do your successes. So I wanted people to enjoy the same kind of double-digit returns that I've had over the years. And I might add, these returns are on a relatively low-risk basis. I didn't go into development. I didn't go into redevelopment, repositioning. I bought high-quality assets in good markets, and then we did something that's quite unique in the business. And we embraced our tenants. We took care of them just like a hotelier might take care of their clients. And I believe the more you give, the more you get, the better your service, the better your returns. It's all about service.
And why did you decide to take that hotelier approach?
To me, it was a natural. It was there's no reason not to treat someone with respect. There's no reason not to treat someone with gratitude, with appreciation, and so I want to be treated well. Everybody wants to be treated well. And who do you want to do business with? The person that you like, the person that you enjoy doing business with. You know, you and I visit oftentimes the same restaurants. Why do we go? Yeah, maybe it's for the food, but more often than not, it's likely that the people, when you get there, they treat you well.
Exactly. Yeah, because you mentioned that about the golden rule in your book.
Yes.
About treat others as they wish to be treated.
Yeah.
And how is that, like, where did that come from, and how has that resulted in? What has that resulted in?
Well, it's resulted in 45% a year for almost 15 years on a relatively low-risk basis. And listen, the golden rule's been around forever. There's a reason why it's been around forever. It works.
It does.
It works every time. You can't sit in front of the fireplace looking for heat. You've got to put the wood in.
Yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah, and the wood is service. The wood is going out of your way, providing a great product, making sure the lights work, the heat's, so on and so on, and making sure when people bring their clients and customers to your properties that they're proud because they're using these buildings as assets. Our tenants use our buildings as assets to increase their own profitability and net worth and so on. So that's
because I noticed also like the reason why like I resonate with you so much is that when I wrote my book, I talked about how when you have a rental property, your tenants are your clients. Your rental property is actually a business. But many landlords out there, they don't treat their rental property as a business. They treat it as like a vending machine or like a cash cow, and then they don't really take care of their clients, which are their tenants.
Absolutely right.
Whereas you go above and beyond.
I'll tell you a funny story. Very early on, I think, well, first I bought my first property in 2006, and I told my agents, I said, guys, from this moment on, we're going to treat everybody the way they should be treated. Not only the tenants, but also bankers, lawyers, property managers, the people that service and maintain the buildings, everybody. Nobody's going to be treated differently. And one day I was walking on this, just not too far away along the street, and a lovely fella. He's an asset manager for a huge mega billion-dollar asset manager, money manager, and they buy a lot of real estate. And I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to start taking my tenants out for lunch and dinner, and he almost burst out laughing. He says, nobody does that. I said, I'm going to do it because that's the way people should be treated. That's the way. And most of these asset managers, they treat their buildings like something in a portfolio. To them, it's just a number.
An object.
An object, that's it, So.
Yeah, you're definitely doing something different, and I bet it's gonna, it's gonna catch on. People are gonna see that it works.
Well, everything I've done over the last almost 15 years is in my book. Like I said, from all the mistakes we made to all the successes we enjoyed, and not only here but in the States as well. These techniques work everywhere. Whether you're here in Vancouver, we own assets in Scottsdale. They work in New York City, in LA, in London, England. I was just in Greece. They'll work in Greece as well.
Yeah, you're definitely making an impact in the city. And then you mentioned impact investing, not only in real estate, but in other areas. But in real estate, I guess, what is your philosophy on impact investing in real estate, besides the golden rule?
I don't know if there is anything else. You
like you talk about how you like shine the brass really nice, and you keep the landscaping phenomenal, and just
to me it's a given. It's a given to provide a beautiful, impeccably maintained asset. It's a given. These properties to us are, we treat our buildings the same way as the Four Seasons treats theirs, as the Ritz-Carlton treats theirs. And when you walk into a Four Seasons, and I've been in lots of Four Seasons and lots of Ritz-Carltons, and I've also been in some not so nice hotels, and you can tell the difference instantly. So when people walk into our lobby, instantly they're going to notice a difference. And guess what? So do the customers of our tenants. Remember, our customers treat our buildings as tools to attract employees. That's right. To impress their customers, their clients, and so on and so on. And they use these tools to build their own businesses, to build their futures. So we have to do this no matter what. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
It's amazing. And as I was reading your book, you talked about you are the chairman of two innovative, impactful companies, Solar Window and RenovaCare.
Yes.
Can you elaborate or tell me a bit about those?
Sure. They're both publicly traded, so what I'm sharing with you is in the public domain. Solar Window is actually my own creation. I was sitting waiting for a meeting in Illinois, and all of a sudden this crazy idea came to me. The idea was, can you turn an ordinary window into an electricity generating window? And that was about a decade ago. And for the first 5 years or so, we struggled. We failed. And eventually, we started making progress, and we started winning awards. We started setting records. What we have is basically an electricity generating coating technology. So liquid coating that goes onto a piece of glass, is sprayed onto a piece of glass under ambient conditions, and that glass goes from being passive to being electricity generating. And the second company is RenovaCare. And that technology, Solar Window sprays on electricity generating coatings. RenovaCare has a product called a skin gun. Looks like the Starship Enterprise. And if you're a burn victim, what the doctors would do is they take a inch by inch small skin, goes into a liquid solution. 90 minutes later, your own skin stem cells are sprayed back on you. And under experimental conditions, we treated 70 plus patients in Germany and in the United States. And
so back to the book, you talked about growing Taliajeevan, did I pronounce it correctly? Taliajeevan to $100 million plus today.
Well, it's
over 100 million.
Well, it's beyond that now, but we started from scratch in 2006, and real quickly we had a portfolio worth $50 million with modest debt, and I can tell you when we zoomed past 100 million, I was shocked as anybody. You got to remember, I started.
What was your goal originally?
I didn't have a goal. My goal, listen, you're either growing or you're decaying.
That's right.
A tree is either growing or a tree is dying. And same thing with the portfolio.
That's right.
So we're always hoping to grow. And it took a long time for me to personally get used to the concept of being the proud owner of iconic buildings. It took a while. Remember, I used to walk around these streets. I used to be a messenger in many of these buildings I used to deliver to, and now I'm proud to own two of them. So it's a pretty good feeling.
And you specialize in commercial real estate properties.
Correct.
And any specific type of commercial real estate properties, like retail or office or shopping plazas, or?
We actually have a bit of everything. We have commercial, which is my favorite, because you have long-term leases with great tenants. When you treat tenants well, guess what? They're going to hang out. They're going to renew their leases and happily pay their rent. And when you
happily pay the increases in rent.
And with joy, they pay increases. And by the way, I should tell you, and I mentioned this in the book, my average time frame to do a lease agreement is 10-15 minutes. I think my record is under 6 or 7 minutes.
That's right. You mentioned that in the book.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. When a transaction is fair for everybody, what is there to talk about?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's a win-win.
Win-win.
As opposed to a lot of people out there like win-lose.
When you're
They're
after
all
the
trying
very
to-
last nickel, forget it. That's not the way we do
The
it.
nickel and diming.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, that philosophy doesn't work in general business practice.
No, not at all. Not yeah, but it's certainly worked better for us the other way.
Yeah.
By being open, by being transparent, by being honest.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we have a tenant. I won't mention a name, but they have 50, 60 locations.
Okay.
Owned by